Every year, millions of electric vehicles roll off production lines around the world, each powered by a battery pack that represents one of the most advanced engineering achievements in modern history. And even though these packs look like simple black boxes, bolted under the floor of a car, the journey behind building and recycling EV batteries is a stunning global process involving mining, chemistry, robotics, supply chain coordination, and ultra-clean manufacturing environments that rival the precision of semiconductor fabs. And today on the How Factory, we're uncovering exactly how electric vehicle batteries are built and recycled to power the clean energy revolution. It all begins deep underground, where the raw materials that make EV batteries possible, lithium, nickel, cobalt, manganese, graphite, aluminum, and copper, are extracted from mines in regions like Australia, Canada, Chile, Indonesia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mining operations are massive systems involving heavy excavators, haul trucks carrying hundreds of tons, ore crushers the size of buildings, and complex chemical plants that isolate the valuable materials from rock. Lithium can come from two completely different worlds: hard rock mining, where giant drills extract spodumene ore that is crushed and roasted, and brine extraction, where salty underground water is pumped into evaporation ponds and left under the sun for months, until the lithium-rich brine crystallizes nickel, and cobalt undergo intense chemical refinement. Leaching, precipitation, solvent extraction, and filtering to reach battery-grade purity. The result of all this work is a set of fine powders: lithium carbonate, lithium hydroxide, nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, manganese oxide, and graphite in various forms, each with carefully controlled particle size and purity, because even microscopic contamination can ruin a battery cell. These powders travel thousands of miles by ship, rail, and truck to enormous gigafactories, vast climate-controlled buildings where raw minerals are transformed into the cells that will power an EV for hundreds of thousands of miles. Inside the Gigafactory, the first stage is electrode production. Battery-grade powders are blended with binders, conductive additives, and solvents to create a uniform slurry. This slurry is mixed in giant industrial mixers with blades that churn the material for hours until it reaches a perfect consistency. Automated systems then coat this slurry onto extremely thin metal foils, aluminum for the cathode side and copper for the anode, using precision coating machines that maintain tolerance levels as fine as a strand of hair. The coated foils run continuously through massive drying ovens, sometimes more than 100 meters long, where solvents evaporate, leaving behind a perfectly solid, evenly coated film. These films are then calendered, squeezed by enormous steel rollers to achieve precise thickness and density. Before being cut into strips or sheets, every millimeter matters. Too thick and the cell overheats. Too thin and the battery loses capacity. From here, the electrode materials move to assembly rooms where humidity must stay near zero. Even a tiny drop of moisture can ruin the chemistry of a lithium-ion cell. In these ultra-dry rooms, robots stack or wind layers of anode, separator film, and cathode into one of several cell shapes: cylindrical cells, pouch cells, or prismatic cells. Cylindrical cells are tightly wound jelly rolls housed in metal cans. Pouch cells are flat stacks, sealed inside flexible aluminum shells. Prismatic cells are rectangular blocks ideal for automotive use. Once assembled, each cell must be filled with electrolyte, a conductive liquid that allows lithium ions to move between the electrodes. This step is done inside sealed, moisture-free chambers because electrolyte reacts instantly with water. After filling, machines vacuum seal the cells and apply crimps or laser welds to close them permanently. Now comes one of the most time-consuming stages: formation. During formation, each cell is slowly charged and discharged over several cycles, while computers monitor voltage, capacity, resistance, temperature response, and chemical stabilization. This step can take days and requires huge racks of electronic equipment, feeding precise currents into thousands of cells at once. Formation is where the battery essentially comes to life, establishing a stable solid electrolyte interface layer that protects the electrodes and determines long-term performance. After formation, the cells undergo aging. They sit for days or weeks so manufacturers can monitor self-discharge rates, and identify any early failures. Only the cells that pass this extensive testing are allowed into the next phase. In battery pack assembly plants, thousands of high-quality cells arrive sorted by capacity and performance. They are assembled into modules, which are then assembled into full packs. Heavy-duty copper busbars are welded to the cells using lasers so precise they can weld in less than a millisecond. Sophisticated cooling systems, often liquid-based, are installed between modules to remove heat during fast charging or heavy acceleration. Sensors embedded throughout the pack measure temperature, voltage, and current from hundreds of points, and send this data to a central computer called the Battery Management System, or BMS. The BMS is the brain of the battery pack, balancing each cell, preventing overcharging, detecting thermal changes, and shutting down the system. If anything goes wrong, battery enclosures made from aluminum or steel are assembled around the pack to protect it from road debris and impacts. Once the pack is complete, it undergoes vibration testing, electrical testing, thermal cycling, and simulated crash conditions. Only then does it reach the vehicle assembly line, where robotic arms lift the pack into place under the EV's chassis. Each pack can weigh anywhere from 300 to 700 kilograms, depending on size and chemistry. Once installed, the car undergoes final calibration and road testing before being shipped to dealerships or directly to customers. After years of driving, charging, and fast charging, every battery eventually loses some of its capacity. When an EV battery can no longer power a vehicle effectively, typically around 70 to 80% health, it doesn't go straight to the scrapyard. Instead, it enters a growing industry called Second Life. Many EV batteries still have enough performance to serve in stationary energy storage systems used for solar power, wind power, or grid balancing. Companies repurpose these modules into battery banks for homes, businesses, and utility storage, giving the battery many additional years of use. But when a battery reaches the end of its usable life, it enters the recycling stream, a process that is now rapidly evolving due to global demand for lithium and other critical minerals. At recycling facilities, the battery pack is first discharged to remove all stored energy. Then technicians or robotic systems dismantle the pack into modules and cells. These cells are shredded in sealed, explosion-proof chambers. The shredded material becomes black mass, a mixture containing lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, graphite, and aluminum. Through mechanical separation techniques, sieving, magnetic separation, flotation, recyclers remove metals like copper and aluminum. Then the black mass undergoes hydrometallurgy, a chemical process that dissolves and separates lithium, nickel, cobalt, and manganese into high-purity forms. These refined materials are returned to the original supply chain, ready to become new EV batteries. Advanced recycling companies can now recover up to 95% of battery metals with quality that matches newly mined materials. Some companies are pioneering direct cathode recycling, where old cathode materials are refurbished without breaking them down into elemental components, saving enormous amounts of energy and cost. Meanwhile, Gigafactories themselves are becoming smarter and greener. Many use AI predictive systems that detect manufacturing defects in real-time robots. Move pallets, mix slurry, assemble cells, weld busbars, collect data, and perform quality checks faster and more consistently than humans ever could. Renewable energy is increasingly powering these factories, and closed-loop water systems recycle the vast amounts of water needed for cleaning, cooling, and chemical processing. New chemistries like solid-state batteries, LFP, lithium iron phosphate, LNMO, and cobalt-free cathodes are changing the landscape of EV battery design, improving safety, lowering cost, and increasing longevity. Solid-state batteries promise to store more energy, charge faster, and dramatically increase range. And many companies expect commercial production. This decade, graphite anodes may soon be partially replaced with silicon-based materials that hold more lithium ions, boosting range even further. The future of batteries is being built right now in ultra-clean rooms, robotics factories, chemistry labs, and recycling centers around the world, all working together to create the next generation of energy storage. From the moment minerals leave the earth to the instant recycled materials return to the production line, the story of an EV battery is a journey of global scale. Precision engineering, complex chemistry, robotic perfection, and cutting-edge sustainability. It's a system that powers the electric vehicles of today and is evolving rapidly to power the transportation of tomorrow. That's how electric vehicle batteries are built and recycled. A process shaped by science, innovation, and human ingenuity. Thanks for watching The How Factory, where we show you how the world really works. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the incredible systems that keep modern life moving.